Radio Rahim with Malik Scott. First and foremost, congratulations on this new role, head trainer in a world championship fight.
Absolutely.
You've never been head trainer, or as far as I know, officially in the corner of Deontay Wilder, but you've always been in Deontay Wilder's corner.
Right.
I've never known the two of you not to be associated during fight week, for you not to be present at all times. And now, assuming this role, there had to be some, if not difficulty, awkwardness in ascending to head trainer around and through a camp of guys that you knew, that you supported Deontay Wilder while in camp with those guys. So talk to me about what the dynamic was like to bring you into this role and your relationship with Mark Breland and the other members of the team who were previously in his corner.
It was as far as it happened so naturally, and after the Fury second fight, me and Deontay talked. We knew exactly what we wanted to do, and it just all materialized since everything that's happening now. And like you said, our brotherhood has always been up here. But what I needed and what I have now is our fighter-trainer relationship passes our brotherhood by far. It's not even close. It's brotherhood here, boxer and trainer relationship here. And he's doing everything I ask and more. And that's all me, myself, Joey Scott, his strength trainer, JD's his manager, Shelly. This is all that we can ask from him. And he's doing everything I ask and more. And he's made his mind up that he's willing to do something he's never did to get something he's never had. And that's become two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Well, something else he never did was make you head trainer. So maybe that's something that'll help him along the way.
That's a start.
My question being, at the beginning of the aftermath of the second fight, Deontay blamed his camp quite a bit. Ultimately, it resulted in Mark Breland.
He blamed his camp, or he blamed.
By camp, I mean his corner.
Yeah, that's someone. He blamed someone. He didn't say nothing about JD's. He didn't say nothing about Cuz Hill. He didn't say nothing about nothing. He had an issue with somebody in his corner. So I think we should say that. I don't think we should say his whole camp. He had an issue with someone in his corner. He decided he didn't want that person to work with him no more, and then that's just that.
Did you recognize a problem? We're talking about Mark Breland then, if it's the individual someone.
If that's what you're talking about, right? Because you're saying, what are you meaning by camp?
I mean, Mark Breland is the most talked about.
What
but
are you meaning by camp?
Well, I'm actually asking because it seemed confused. Like he would say one thing one day, something else the next day, and then people would put words in his mouth that maybe he didn't say. So I wish he was here to answer questions because I don't think anyone is entirely clear on what exactly he believes happened in his corner or with Mark Breland alone, and how that brought about the necessity for a new head trainer. And I'm wondering, you being an observer but not one of the members in the corner in the first two fights, did you observe something that you feel like Mark Breland did wrong or that warrants that kind of criticism that's put at his doorstep?
It's just like that's so much detail to get into that, and it's hard for me to get into that in full detail because it's so behind me. I'm so focused on Fury. I'm dreaming about Tyson Fury. I'm dreaming about Deontay knocking Tyson Fury. I'm dreaming about him getting the title back. I'm always fucking film study. I'm always going over strategies with Deontay. I'm obsessed with getting his title back. So like that stuff that happened in the past with the Breland and all of that just stuff he was saying, he said, putting words in his mouth, I'm like done with it. It's none of my business. My business is with the business that I'm handling, and that's training the two-time heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay Wilder.
If it's not your business, and it's the last of the words we've heard from Wilder, being that he's not responding to media, not participating in the press conference, it just leaves the door open to, is that, it's not on your mind, so you say, is it on his mind?
So, no, what's on his mind is violence and decapitating Tyson Fury in the trilogy. That's what's on his mind.
Okay. I mean, even that, when you say violence and decapitation, that's not what boxing's really about.
That's
We're not.
Deontay Wilder wants to do.
Deontay Wilder wants to win his title back, right?
I'm telling you what the man wants to do and what he's saying verbally to the press, to people. He's said this. He wants to decapitate Tyson Fury.
So you're training him to knock Tyson Fury's head off his body?
I'm training him to be two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Right. So how do you keep him focused on that and the task at hand as a boxer, not a murderer, to win the title back and not have all these things that were discussed after the fight weigh on his mind?
This noble art is very violent. Anything can come from this. Anything can come from this. You know that, Rahim. Anything can come from this.
I've never seen anybody's head knocked off their shoulders.
No, but if we're saying hypothetically speaking on what someone wish they can do because they're feeling a certain way, a kind of person, because they have their personal vendettas against a person for their own reasons, then yes, he's describing his feelings. But what I'm doing is training him to be two-time heavyweight champion of the world by any means. That's what I'm saying.
Right, and which is your job and what you should be doing, and we're not disagreeing on that. What I'm asking is I'm concerned that from what I see and the discussion that's been had, that maybe Wilder isn't as focused on the task that you're talking about now, which is boxing, and is mired in, like you say, the vendetta and even the Breland issue and not being willing to talk to the press makes it seem like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'd like for you to express it for him if you can,
if you're wrong, I'm
that he's still living in that past. He's not moving forward. We have a press conference today about the new fight. He got the fight that's on. We're all here to talk to him, and he's clearly not moving forward because he's not engaging in this fight yet. So how are you making sure that your fighter isn't living in the past?
No, how I'm making sure he's not living in the past is by preparation. My job is to train him. I can't control his inside feelings. Deontay Wilder's his own man. My job is to train Deontay to be the best that he can be, which he is now, and to go and get the title back for the second time of his career, to become two-time heavyweight champion of the world. How he feel he want to do that, that's between him and God. My job is to prepare him for the task, and whichever way he gets it and bring it back, I'm fine with that.
And what adjustments do you feel like he needs to make technically as a fighter to be prepared for the task? Was the Deontay Wilder who we've seen, let's not talk the second fight, obviously he was unsuccessful in that, but before then, highest knockout ratio ever in boxing history, got a draw in the first fight, but did knock Tyson Fury down, almost out. What did he do in the second fight or not since the first fight that he needs to do in this third fight to be successful in the way that you describe?
What did he do? What do he need to do to be successful, like what he didn't do in the first or second fight?
Right.
I just think it comes from the mental adjustments that he's made. I just think it comes from him being extremely receptive. He may not be receptive with you guys, yes. He may not be receptive with Blow Joe over there, but he's receptive to the most important people in his life that's to get this task done. And that's myself, that's Joey Scott, that's JD's, that's his nutritionist and stuff, and that's all I care about. If Deontay doesn't want to come in here and talk to you guys and answer questions because his word is going to get flipped around, because the head title is going to be something that he totally not meant, like everyone get to their level where they just sick of that kind of shit. You know what I mean? He's probably just sick of that kind of shit, and I don't have a problem with him being like that. This fight is going to sell itself.
And you said his mental preparation. What is the mental preparation that you're talking about?
To wake up, eat, sleep, and shit boxing. No distractions. To wake up, roll over into your recovery tank. To wake up, roll over, and go right to your track. To wake up, and Malik Scott is outside in the gym waiting for you to get ready. To wake up, to making it a lifestyle. Not 75%, not 80%, 110% lifestyle. And that's what he's doing right now.
And when it comes to the physical part of boxing, and most fighters and trainers will tell you it's 80% mental. So if that's the preparation needed and it's happening, gives them an 80% better chance of winning. But the other 20%, it's physical. And everyone knows he has a huge right hand. He's been successful more so.
And everyone also knows he's extremely mentally tough as well. And everyone also knows that he was only boxing a year before he got a bronze medal in the Olympics. This don't just come from someone having one good right hand or not having mental strength. This just don't come from you fighting Bermain Stavern on the night and you almost go blind in one eye and they have to bring a doctor in and you still go win a world title. This just don't come from not being mentally tough. Going into Chris Arreola fight with ruptured bicep, and he's one of the most mental tough guys in the world. Now I know what you're saying. You're saying, yeah, but you could be mentally tough and you could still be doing it in the past. I'm telling you, the man is different. You guys is going to see July 24th.
I understand that. I hope that's true. Yes. The physical part, though.
That's true.
The physical part, though, the right hand we all know is incredibly dangerous. It's a knockout punch.
About his right hand right now.
Okay, so if you don't, or if Fury's able to take it away like he did in the second fight, what else is Deontay Wilder bringing to the ring? Either that we haven't seen before or improving if the right hand isn't available.
I'm gonna say something. You want to know what's the funny thing about Deontay losing that second fight? I didn't hear one guy or one writer, no one just say he just had a bad night at the office. Like athletes do, like fighters do, like Kobe has as a ball player do. He had a bad night in the office. That's all that was. Yeah, under whatever circumstance, it was a bad night and he lost.
Yeah, but Malik, Deontay didn't say that either. He said everything but that. So I don't know that you can blame the press for not making that point, because he gave us all these other reasons as to why that fight went the way it did. Nobody said bad night at the office or, hey, I'll be back.
But why? When it was a bad night for him, why didn't they say that?
Because he told us it wasn't a bad night for him. It was a bad night for Mark Breland. It was a bad night because Tyson was cheating with something in his gloves. It was a bad night because the suit was too heavy.
So now all of that together, would you consider all of that good things or bad things?
They're just things. They're things that they're just things that he offered as a reason why that happened, and not just a bad night at the office.
Listen to what I'm saying. The thing that happened with Mark, is that considered bad or good?
If he is telling the truth about what happened with Mark
to the world, that's considered a bad thing.
If it's true,
can I finish? To the world, that's considered a bad thing. The whole thing. Let me finish.
That would be a terrible thing.
I'm letting you talk. You got okay, right? Deontay got beat up by Tyson Fury to the world, so that was a bad thing, right? Yes, to his fans, that's a bad thing.
Of course, yes. If you want him to win and he loses, that's a bad thing.
So in general, it was a bad night for Deontay Wilder. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I get what you're saying. Most people ain't saying that. Most people not this. And I said something to you, and I said, well, no one said that. And your point is, you're saying, yeah, no one said it because Deontay didn't say it. I'm telling you how I feel about it. That was a bad night in the office for Deontay Wilder, and we're making all the wrongs right from that bad night. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so with all the wrongs being righted, does he need more than the right hand
to has more than the right hand?
So this is what I'm asking you. Yeah. Talk to me about what else he brings to the table. Since, like you say, nobody's talking about anything else. No one's talking about anything but the right hand. Talk to me about what else Deontay Wilder brings to the table to get this victory on July 24th.
Speed, counter-punching, focus, long range, surgical traps. What else? Discipline, receptiveness, like everything. Everything that we're doing in preparation, he brings to the table. And to counterpart on what people say, they're making it seem like everything he's doing is new when they see in the training videos of it. They're saying that from a perception from the sideline. I've been watching Deontay do these things for a while. My job is to make sure we do way more of them like he's doing, and we focus on things you do well subconsciously and drilling them so they could be drill things that you do, and they just not coming from a subconscious space. You get what I'm trying to say? Because there's a lot of fighters, like I said before, they do things and a move may work and it's subconscious. They didn't drill that. But then I could tell when I look at a fighter like, oh, that was a good move, and you could tell he drilled that and worked on that. And now that's a part of his arsenal. Deontay has made things a part of his arsenal besides just that right hand that you're speaking of.
And turning your attention as a trainer to the opponent, Tyson Fury seems very comfortable today, as always. He's clowning around, he's joking, he's very relaxed. That's Fury. Hey, his training videos have been out for the whole year. He's shown himself training seemingly nonstop since the last fight. But you haven't had the opportunity to be in the corner between rounds talking to Wilder. Right. Is there anything that you've seen in Fury's boxing acumen or his approach to the sport or what happens in the ring that make him vulnerable that maybe Wilder hadn't taken advantage of yet?
Yeah, but those things right there, I'm not going to speak on that right here. That's for July 24th for you guys to see. I'm not going to tell you my loopholes that I see in Fury's game that we're going to take advantage of. I'm not going to do that. Rahim, you know I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to give a game plan up on camera. Come on, Rahim.
Well, a yes is a sufficient answer. You could say, like, no. So you do see things that you think he can take advantage of. And like I said, he's relaxed and whatnot. The mental preparation, which we've been talking about it to an extent, where do you feel that Tyson Fury's mentality is coming in? Everybody's had at least a year layoff. He's had his issues before with success. Do you see anything mentally with this whole who's stronger matchup when it comes to that in the ring? Can Tyson Fury's mental preparation be cracked?
Yeah.
Do you see a way to do that?
Yes. You know what I'm saying? I flipped it on you, didn't I? Yes, that's I do. Good. Right.
Yeah. So that you might be able to talk about a little bit, because I thought maybe here this stare off and this non-talking at the press conference, is that a bit of a wind up? Are you guys trying to get in his head?
I would just say that's two fighters that have serious beef, and it's about blood, and that's the way it's looking. That's the energy of it.
And lastly, Malik, you talk about you visualize this fight. You've been dreaming about this fight. When you dream of it, when you visualize it, when you predict it, what's your prediction for July 24th?
Deontay Wilder being two-time heavyweight champion of the world and knocking Tyson Fury out inside of 5 rounds.
Radio Rahim with Malik Scott. Good luck July 24th. I'm really happy to see you in this role, man. Can't wait to see you in the corner on the night. Radio Rahim with Malik Scott.